It was just another day in a small town, the kind of place where everyone knew each other, and life moved at a slower pace. At the local McDonald's, the lunch rush was in full swing. The smell of fries filled the air, and the sound of people chatting mixed with the buzz of orders being taken. Behind the counter was Aiden, a 16-year-old boy who worked part-time to help his family. He was quick on his feet, cheerful, and had a knack for solving problems. At that very moment, an unexpected customer walked in, Elon Musk. But no one noticed him. Wearing a simple hoodie and jeans, Elon looked like any other traveler stopping for a meal. He wasn't there to make a scene or sign autographs. He was just hungry on his way to another meeting. Aiden greeted him with a warm smile, like he did with every customer. "Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you today?" Elon ordered a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke, and Aiden quickly punched it into the register. As Elon waited for his food, he casually observed the place. His sharp mind, always searching for something interesting, soon focused on Aiden. It wasn't just Aiden's speed and efficiency that caught Elon's attention. It was the way he handled everything with ease, even when the kiosk system went down. "Sorry about the wait, folks," Aiden said to the customers as he walked over to the self-ordering kiosk. The machine had frozen, and people were starting to get frustrated. Without hesitation, Aiden rebooted the system, tapping keys like a pro. A minute later, the screen lit back up, and the orders resumed. "That's impressive," Elon thought, his curiosity now fully piqued. He couldn't help but admire the boy's confidence. Not many teenagers could troubleshoot tech like that, especially on the spot. When Aiden returned to the counter, Elon asked casually, "Do you fix these machines often?" Aiden chuckled. "Yeah, they act up sometimes. I taught myself a bit of coding and tech stuff, so I help out when I can." This simple answer intrigued Elon even more. "Self-taught, huh? What else do you know?" Aiden hesitated for a moment, then pulled out his phone. "Well, I make things in my free time. Here, look." He showed Elon a video of a robotic arm he had built using old parts from broken appliances. "It's not perfect, but it works," he said shyly. Elon watched the video intently, his face lighting up. He saw something in Aiden, a spark, a passion that reminded him of his younger self. Here was a boy, working a fast food job to help his family, yet still dreaming and creating with whatever tools he had. "Interesting," Elon said with a smile, his mind already spinning with possibilities. He knew this was no ordinary stop at McDonald's. Little did Aiden know, his life was about to take a turn he could never have imagined. Elon Musk leaned against the counter, still holding his tray of food. But he wasn't ready to leave yet. There was something about Aiden that kept him standing there. Elon had met countless people in his life, but this boy had a quiet confidence that stood out. "So, where did you learn to build something like that?" Elon asked, pointing to the phone still in Aiden's hand. Aiden hesitated, glancing at the line of customers behind Elon. "It's a bit of a story," he said with a nervous laugh. Elon smiled, stepping aside to let others order. "I got time. Tell me." Feeling a little flustered but encouraged by Elon's interest, Aiden began to explain. "It started a couple of years ago. My dad lost his job, and things got tough for us. I wanted to help, but I didn't know how. Then, one day, I saw a video online about people building robots from scrap. I thought, why not try? So I started collecting parts from old electronics people threw away." Elon listened intently as Aiden continued. "I didn't have money for fancy tools or parts, so I just used whatever I could find. At first, everything I made broke down, but then, after a while, I started getting it right. That arm you saw, it's my best one yet." There was a flicker of pride in Aiden's eyes, and Elon could see it clearly. This boy wasn't just talented, he was determined. "Do you sell these robots you build?" Elon asked, genuinely curious. Aiden shook his head. "No, I just do it for fun. I've thought about making a career out of it, but college is expensive, and right now, My family needs me here. So I just work, save what I can, and keep learning on my own. Elon nodded thoughtfully. He had seen stories like Aiden's before, bright minds limited by circumstances. But this one felt personal. He remembered his own struggles as a young man, working odd jobs and dreaming of something bigger. "What's your dream, Aiden?" Elon asked suddenly. The question caught Aiden off guard. He looked down for a moment, then back at Elon. "I'd love to be an engineer someday, maybe work on robots or even rockets, but honestly, I'm not sure if that'll ever happen. Dreams are expensive, you know." Elon's gaze softened. He could see the passion in Aiden's words, the hunger to create and innovate, despite the odds stacked against him. Elon had come to McDonald's for a quick bite, but he had found something far more valuable, a raw talent waiting for a chance to shine. Before leaving, Elon reached into his pocket and pulled out a pen. Grabbing a napkin from the counter, he began to write something. Aiden watched curiously as Elon scribbled a note and handed it to him. "Here," Elon said with a small smile. "Call me when you're ready to take the next step." Aiden stared at the napkin, his heart racing. On it was Elon Musk's personal contact information and a simple message. "Let's talk about your future." Aiden stood frozen, staring at the napkin in his hands. Elon Musk's name and contact information were right there, along with those words. "Let's talk about your future." It felt surreal. Was this some kind of joke? Was he dreaming? When he looked up, Elon was walking toward a corner table to eat his meal. Aiden wanted to say something, but he didn't know what. Instead, he carefully folded the napkin and slipped it into his pocket. He had no idea what to do with it. Could this really be happening? The rest of Aiden's shift felt like a blur. He moved through the motions, taking orders, serving customers, cleaning tables, but his mind kept drifting back to that napkin and the man who had given it to him. As the lunch rush slowed down, Aiden's coworker Sarah nudged him. "Hey, what's up with you? You look like you've seen a ghost." Aiden hesitated for a moment, then leaned in and whispered, "You see that guy over there? That's Elon Musk." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "The Tesla guy? Here? No way." "I'm serious," Aiden said, glancing toward Elon, who was calmly eating his fries like nothing unusual was happening. "He talked to me. He asked about my robots, and he gave me his contact info." Sarah's eyes widened. "Wait, what? Are you kidding me?" Aiden shook his head. "I'm not kidding. I don't even know what to think right now." Before Sarah could respond, a man at the next table, who had overheard them, jumped into the conversation. "Elon Musk. Are you sure? That's crazy." The buzz spread quickly. A few other customers started whispering and glancing over at Elon. One brave soul finally approached him, asking for a selfie. Elon smiled politely and agreed, though he clearly wasn't there to draw attention. By now, half the restaurant knew who he was. Aiden felt a mix of pride and anxiety. He wasn't used to being the center of attention. And now, people were looking at him too, wondering what Elon had said to him. As Elon finished his meal, he stood up and walked past the counter on his way out. He gave Aiden a nod and a friendly wave, as if to say, "Don't forget." The door closed behind him, and just like that, he was gone. But the energy he left behind lingered, electrifying the small McDonald's like a storm had just passed through. That night, as Aiden sat at home in his small bedroom, he unfolded the napkin and stared at it again. The thought of actually contacting Elon Musk both thrilled and terrified him. What would he even say? Would Elon really remember him, or was this just a kind gesture that wasn't meant to go anywhere? He placed the napkin carefully in his desk drawer, like a treasure too precious to leave out. Aiden didn't know what the future held, but deep down, he felt something had shifted. His life might never be the same again. The next morning, Aiden woke up with a strange mix of excitement and nerves. He couldn't stop thinking about the napkin with Elon Musk's contact information. The idea of reaching out felt overwhelming. What if Elon didn't respond? Or worse, what if he thought Aiden wasn't good enough? Still, as he got ready for his shift at McDonald's, a little voice in his head kept saying, "What do you have to lose?" By the time he arrived at work, the story of Elon Musk's visit had already spread around town. Customers kept asking Aiden, "Is it true? Did Elon Musk really talk to you?" Some even joked, "So, when's Tesla hiring you?" Aiden laughed it off, but deep down, he felt the pressure building. Everyone seemed to expect something big from him now, but he wasn't sure he was ready for it. After work, Aiden sat in the parking lot, staring at his phone. He had typed out a simple message to the email address Elon had given him. "Hi, Mr. Musk. This is Aiden, the boy you met at McDonald's yesterday. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. You told me to reach out when I'm ready, and I'd love to learn more about how I can pursue my dreams in engineering." His finger hovered over the send button. "Am I really doing this?" he muttered to himself. Finally, with a deep breath, he hit send. The email left his outbox, and Aiden felt like he had just launched himself into the unknown. Would Elon even read it? To his shock, just 2 hours later, his phone buzzed. It was a reply. "Aiden, great to hear from you. I meant what I said. Your talent is impressive. Let's start by arranging a visit to one of my companies so you can see how things work behind the scenes. I'll have my assistant reach out to set it up. Keep dreaming big. Elon." Aiden's jaw dropped. He read the email 3 times to make sure he wasn't imagining it. Elon Musk wanted him to visit one of his companies. The next day, true to Elon's word, Aiden received an email from a woman named Clara, one of Elon's assistants. She explained that they wanted to fly Aiden to Tesla's headquarters for a special tour. They would cover everything: flights, hotels, and meals. Clara also mentioned that Elon himself planned to spend some time with Aiden during the visit. When Aiden told his parents, they were stunned. His mom teared up, hugging him tightly. "We're so proud of you," she said. Aiden felt a mix of joy and disbelief. Just a few days ago, he was fixing a broken kiosk at McDonald's. Now he was preparing to meet some of the brightest engineers in the world. That night, as he packed a small bag for the trip, Aiden couldn't help but smile. For the first time in his life, it felt like his dreams weren't so far away after all. The day of the trip arrived faster than Aiden expected. For a boy who had never even been on an airplane, flying to Tesla's headquarters felt like stepping into a whole new world. As he sat in his seat, looking out the window, he couldn't stop wondering what awaited him. Would Elon Musk really be there? What if he embarrassed himself? When the plane landed, a Tesla representative greeted Aiden with a warm smile. "Welcome, Aiden. We've been looking forward to meeting you," she said, guiding him to a sleek black car waiting outside. Aiden couldn't help but marvel at the vehicle. It was a Tesla Model S, and it looked straight out of a movie. As they drove through the city, Aiden kept his eyes glued to the windows, taking in the towering buildings and busy streets. Finally, they arrived at Tesla's headquarters, a massive futuristic building that seemed alive with energy. Engineers and designers bustled about, some carrying blueprints, others discussing projects in small groups. Aiden's guide led him through the glass doors and into the heart of the facility. He couldn't believe his eyes. There were robots assembling car parts with precision, cutting-edge machinery humming in the background, and giant screens displaying real-time data. "This is like stepping into the future," Aiden whispered to himself. The tour began, and Aiden soaked up every detail. He asked questions about how the machines worked, how the engineers solved problems, and what inspired them to create such advanced technology. The staff seemed impressed by his curiosity and knowledge, treating him less like a visitor and more like one of their own. After a while, Aiden was led into a sleek conference room. His heart skipped a beat when he saw Elon Musk walk in, casually dressed, but radiating the same aura of brilliance he'd seen at McDonald's. "Welcome, Aiden," Elon said with a smile, shaking his hand. "I'm glad you could make it." Aiden grinned nervously. "Thank you for inviting me. This place is amazing." Elon chuckled. "I thought you might like it. So tell me, what do you think so far?" Aiden took a deep breath. "It's incredible. Seeing all of this up close makes me realize how much I want to be a part of something like this." Elon nodded, his expression thoughtful. "You've got the drive and the talent, Aiden. But to go further, you'll need the right tools and education. That's why I brought you here, to show you what's possible and to offer my help." Aiden blinked, unsure if he'd heard correctly. "Help? What do you mean?" Elon leaned forward. "I want to support you. Whether it's an internship, mentorship, or even a scholarship for college, I'll make sure you get what you need to succeed. All I ask is that you keep working hard and never stop dreaming." Aiden felt a lump in his throat. He could barely speak as he said, "Thank you. I won't let you down." The moment felt like a turning point. For Aiden, this wasn't just a tour. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one where anything seemed possible. Aiden spent the rest of the day at Tesla, feeling like he was walking on air. Everywhere he looked, there were reminders of the future being built right before his eyes. The engineers, the designers, the machines. Everything was cutting edge. And Aiden felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. For the first time in his life, he saw the path ahead of him clearly. After the tour, Aiden sat down with a few of the engineers who shared their experiences with him. They explained how they got into the field, the challenges they faced, and how they kept pushing forward even when things seemed impossible. Their stories gave Aiden hope. He realized that despite the obstacles he had faced, his passion for technology and innovation could take him far. Later, as the day drew to a close, Elon invited Aiden to dinner at a local restaurant. It was an informal setting, just the two of them, but Aiden felt honored. As they sat down to eat, Elon asked him more about his life, his dreams, and the challenges he had faced growing up. Aiden opened up, telling Elon about his family's struggles, how he had to work long hours at McDonald's to help out, and how he had taught himself coding and robotics in his spare time. Elon listened intently, nodding as he took in every word. "You know, Aiden, you're not alone. A lot of successful people have had tough beginnings," he said. "What sets them apart is their drive to keep going, no matter how hard it gets." Aiden nodded, feeling a new sense of determination. "I've always believed that if you work hard enough, things will eventually work out." Elon smiled. "That's exactly the mindset you need. And I believe you have the potential to do great things. I'm not just offering you a tour today. I'm offering you an opportunity. We want you to join us, to learn from the best, and to grow. You've got what it takes, Aiden. Now it's up to you to decide how far you want to go." The weight of Elon's words settled on Aiden like a promise. It was as if the universe had opened up a new door for him, and all he had to do was walk through it. For the first time, Aiden didn't feel like he was limited by his circumstances. He felt empowered, ready to take on whatever came next. The next morning, before Aiden headed back home, Clara, Elon's assistant, handed him a packet with all the details of the offer Elon had made. The packet included everything: an internship at Tesla, a scholarship to attend college, and even the chance to work on real-world engineering projects. Aiden's heart raced as he read through it. This was the opportunity he had dreamed of, and it was right there in his hands. As Aiden boarded the plane to return home, he looked out the window once again. But this time, he wasn't just seeing the world below. He was seeing the world of possibilities ahead of him. He knew that everything had changed. His future was no longer uncertain. It was a path waiting to be walked, and Aiden was ready to run down it with everything he had. When Aiden returned home, it felt like the world had changed overnight. He hadn't told anyone about his meeting with Elon Musk yet, but he could feel the weight of it all pressing down on him. His family was excited to see him, but Aiden could hardly focus on anything else. He had so much to think about, so many new opportunities, and so many big decisions to make. The next few days were a whirlwind. Aiden met with his parents to discuss everything. He showed them the packet from Tesla, and they couldn't believe their eyes. It was a dream come true for their family. But with the excitement came a dose of reality. "Are you sure you're ready for this?" his mom asked, her voice full of concern. "This could change everything, Aiden. It's a huge responsibility." Aiden looked at the packet again, his fingers tracing the words as if they were a roadmap to his future. "I've never been more sure of anything in my life," he said. "This is my chance to build the life I've always dreamed of. I want to make something of myself, to help people, and to create the things I've always imagined." His dad, who had always been the practical one, nodded slowly. "We'll support you, son. But remember, this is just the beginning. Hard work, dedication, and sacrifice will be required. There will be moments of doubt, but you've got to keep pushing through." Aiden felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. He knew that this was only possible because of his family's support. Without them, none of this would have been possible. And now, he had a chance to make their sacrifices worth it. With everything settled, Aiden accepted Tesla's offer. The following weeks were filled with excitement as he prepared to start his internship. He began college classes with the scholarship Elon had arranged for him, studying engineering and robotics. It wasn't easy, balancing school, work, and the internship, but Aiden was driven. He had never felt more alive, more determined to succeed. The first day of his internship at Tesla was nerve-wracking. Aiden was in awe as he walked into the massive headquarters again, but this time, he was part of the team. He was no longer a visitor. He was an intern with a real role to play. The engineers welcomed him with open arms, showing him how to work on cutting-edge projects. Aiden was given tasks to build prototypes, assist with the design of new models, and even contribute ideas to ongoing projects. It felt like a dream come true. As the months went by, Aiden's confidence grew. He worked long hours, learning from the best, and contributing to projects that were shaping the future of technology. Elon checked in on him regularly, offering advice and guidance. Aiden started to believe that maybe, just maybe, he had what it took to make it big in the world of engineering. Looking back, Aiden realized that it all started with a simple encounter at McDonald's, a moment that changed his life forever. He had been given a chance, and he wasn't going to waste it. Aiden had come from humble beginnings, but now he was building a future that was anything but ordinary. And this was just the beginning.